Hi, how are you? In today's YouTube, what I've started to do is to record my new Udemy course, and I thought you'd like to get a peek at what I've started to do. And this course is all about being able to read any chord and be able to visualize it and play it on the guitar. And we're starting out with looking at thirds and knowing how to recognize thirds, major thirds, and minor thirds all over the fretboard. Take a look. Hi, welcome to the world of chords. What we're going to do today is to start and look at the intervals of a chord, just to get ourselves familiar with the fretboard and how those intervals look on the fretboard. Let's say I call this the root note of a particular chord. The first interval in what we call a triad is going to be the third. Now, if it's a major triad, it's going to be right there. So this is a pattern, the first pattern that I'd like for you to get used to. And this pattern is actually the same across all of the strings with the exception of between strings 3 and strings 2. Now the reason is, let me just play you the notes of a scale starting on each one of the strings. Let's say I play a scale starting on the 6th string and I go like this. Well, that's 3 notes, right? First 3 notes of a major scale. It works like that across those strings. Now I play across those strings. So it works like that over there. Now I go over to the next string. Everything's fine up to there. Now if I go from here. Now that sounds kind of different, right? That is different because if I did that, that would actually be a minor third. And you might recognize it feels, it has that kind of melancholy flavor to it. What you actually need to do across those 2 strings is to play. So you need to play that on the same fret to get a major third. Now when you get over to this one, when you get over to the second string, it's actually the same as the other one. So the only exception is on the 3rd and the 2nd string. So this is something that you should get familiar with. So what I just did there were the major thirds. So I'm playing, if I play the major thirds all the way across, then that's kind of the effect of it. I just want to point out the reason for there being a difference there is because if you look at the interval between each of the strings, you have a perfect fourth, which is, you have a perfect fourth tuning between all of the strings except for between strings 3 and 2. So between strings 3 and 2, you already have a 3rd interval there. So that's why it's different. When you go to strings 2 and 3, you're back to the 4th interval. Now let's take a look at minor intervals. Now it's important to know both major third and minor third intervals. So that was our major third. Now what we're going to do is take a look at the minor third. The minor third is a little bit different. It's stretched out 2 frets. So if I go, that will be the first part of a minor scale. Now this is the same situation that it's going to be that minor third interval. When you get to there, it's okay. But then when you get to here, if I did the same thing, that would be a little bit different, right? So when you get to strings 3 and 2, in this case, this is going to be a minor interval across those 2 strings. Here's how the minor intervals sound going across all of the strings. So now that you recognize those intervals, what's good to do here is try to play scales using major and minor thirds. Now, here's a trick. If you know a scale along one string, then what you need to be able to do is put in those third intervals. So the trick is that the only time that you're playing major intervals is on the first, the fourth, and the fifth interval. Here, see how it works. So here I'm playing the major, there I'm playing a minor, 2 frets apart, another minor, major, major, minor, minor, then you're back to the major, which is the same root note. That's going to be okay on every pair of strings except for strings 3 and 2. So what you do on strings 3 and 2, let's say I play there. On the same fret you start with a third. When you go up to the next note, it's going to be a diagonal. It's going to be diagonal again. Now the fourth note of the scale is going to be on the same fret. Then back to the minors. And then you finish off on the same fret. Once you become good with those major and minor third intervals, then that's really going to help you with the next step in this process of learning the chord shapes on the guitar. All right, so that's it from me for today, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Now, if you'd like to be on the list to be notified when this Udemy course is released, and I'm working on that as fast as I can, then go down below, click on the guitarbasement.com link, and if you sign up for the newsletter there, you'll get information, and I'll be letting you know with a coupon that you can use to get the course if you're interested in that. And having said all that, if you like this video, please click the like button. If you don't like it, click the don't like button. And best of all is if you subscribe to the channel, and that will encourage me to put out more stuff. As I always say, stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you soon.